Chapter 6. Parallel Journeys. The months leading up to the trips were filled with a palpable excitement. Mina and Liam's relationship was a quiet, steady kind of happiness. They spent most of their time together in the workshop, perfecting her illusions. His presence, once a shy and nervous one, was now a comforting given. He would hold her hand as they walked to the store for supplies, a simple gesture that brought her a genuine, joyful feeling. Meanwhile, Maya and Jamal were practically inseparable. Their shared love of sports meant their dates were often filled with friendly competition, from shooting hoops in the park to intense fantasy football debates. Jamal was an honest and good-natured kid who treated Maya with a respect that warmed Mina's heart. Their relationships, born from shared passions and mutual support, were growing into something truly special. While the kids were busy with their budding romances, the adults were consumed with planning. David had become a man on a mission. The garage workshop, filled with Mina's illusions, was now a backdrop for his new habit of preparing for his own adventure. He meticulously created a detailed list, a sort of travel tips of his own, including all the natural parks and amazing historical sites he would stop at. He would show them on a large map, drawing out his route with a red marker, a sense of liberty and excitement in his eyes. In his spare time, he would take out all his supplies and line them out in perfect rows to make sure that he had everything. After taking his inventory, he would neatly pack everything back in, making sure to conserve as much space as possible. He did this repeatedly, to the point where he was just wasting time, but to him he relished every second of it. "I've got it all planned out," he said one evening at dinner, holding up a printout. "First, I'll tackle Yellowstone. Then I'll go through the Grand Tetons, hit the Rocky Mountains, and maybe even ride through some of the historical frontier towns along the way. I've been wanting to ride through the horizon of this great country for years, and now I'm finally going to do it." He eagerly went over every last detail, and the girls pretended to be half as interested as he was, asking questions they had no interest in having answered, but he was more than willing to go into too much detail. While David was planning his solo, rugged journey, a very different kind of collaboration was underway in the living room. Mina, her mom, and Maya had started a Google Drive, a living document for their own trip to Korea. It was a digital space where they communicated with Hannah and Mina's grandmother, using Google Translate, which was mostly able to communicate smoothly, though there were some occasional hilarious mistranslations. The funniest one was when Sarah said they would want to crash after the flight due to jet lag, but Hannah thought they were talking about the actual plane crashing. The following email exchanges were awkward but hilarious in hindsight. The family of 5 women had come together, across 2 continents and multiple languages, to plan the perfect trip. The result of all their hard work was an incredibly detailed, action-packed itinerary. They had carefully scheduled 10 days, leaving enough room for the long travel and a day to recover from the inevitable jet lag. The list of things to see and do was long and exciting. They all agreed that the most important part of the trip, however, was the time they had scheduled to be with Hannah and the grandmother. Every day had a slot set aside for them to simply spend time together, to talk, to share stories, and to begin to develop a real relationship. Their cultural exploration would be extensive. They planned a visit to the magnificent Gyeongbokgung Palace, a place of immense historical significance. "This isn't just a palace," Sarah explained, pointing to a picture on her screen. It was the main royal palace of the Joseon dynasty. It was the heart of the Korean kingdom for centuries, a place where kings and queens lived and ruled. It was destroyed and rebuilt, but it still represents the noble past of Korea. "I can't imagine how that will feel to see in person, to stand in a place with so much history." The itinerary also included a visit to the DMZ, the demilitarized zone that served as a fortified barrier between North and South Korea. "I really want to go there," Mina said, her voice serious. "I think it's important for us to see that, to perceive the reality of a divided nation. It's a sad reminder that a little political turmoil can have a lasting effect on a whole country." For a bit of fun, Maya had made a separate section of the itinerary just for her and Mina. "And of course we have to go to Lotte World," she said, her eyes wide with excitement. "It's the world's largest indoor amusement park. And it's connected to Lotte Tower, which has an infinity floor. I saw a video about it. It's a glass floor on the top floor of the building. We have to go there. Can you imagine looking straight down?" Mina shook her head, a playful shiver running up her spine. "That sounds terrifying. My knees are shaking just thinking about it. I don't know if I can do that, Min. They also plan to see a K-pop concert and take a Squid Game and K-pop Demon Hunters experience tour to see some of the famous filming locations. The whole family was buzzing with anticipation. David had his open road and the girls had their journey to a faraway kingdom. Both trips were a result of the family's love and support, and both were a new kind of adventure.